Welcome back. It's been a couple days. I meant to do a video sooner, but I kind of haven't between everything that's been going on. But when we spoke last time, I was waiting on this car to show up. It's here now. I've got it up on the lift. I meant to do a video as soon as the car got here, but again, things happen. And so, let me get you up to speed. 2005, it's actually in really, really good shape. What I mean by that is parts that normally were pulled off in, for a car like this, a tuner car, if you will. Normally just little odd pieces, ends and bibs and bobs, plastics and whatnot, are usually removed and scrapped because, it's a tuner car. For the most part, this is very, very complete. It's not all factory. There are, obviously, you can see the big intercooler. It looks like an AGP intercooler up front there. A lot of things have been changed, relatively speaking, not a whole bunch. Just a few things here and there have been changed, but for the most part, it's a very complete car, which is really cool for something of this age to see how complete it is. Not a huge fan of the fat boy seats. Those will be replaced. They are very stained, very dirty. The inside of this car was a mess. I've removed all of the interior plastics, the seats and everything. You can see up there, that is pretty much most of the interior. I have cleaned it up relatively well. The seats are going to have some stains. They're going to be a little bit grayed from just sun damage, that sort of thing. But it's going to be pretty clean. The carpet was very, very nasty. I have it here after the cleaning. It's pretty clean. It looks good. It doesn't stink, that's for sure, anymore. It definitely took some cleaning, took some doing to get clean, and that will go back in. I am deep cleaning the interior and just going over it. It does have a sunroof. Not a huge fan. I'm not going to go the route of fixing the sunroof. I have another sunroof body here. See it over there. Probably worth some money. I'm probably going to sell it because I don't plan on fixing the sunroof. It's just not my thing. I don't want to have to deal with it or worry about it. So the sunroof will get plugged. I'll probably leave the headliner as a sunroof headliner so I can at least, maybe, we'll see. I don't know yet. I hate dealing with headliners. It's just never been something I've had fun with. We'll see. The goal is to just clean it up, mostly back to factory. Having some fun. If you recall the last video, I said the key lock cylinder ignition lock cylinder was damaged. I ended up going through Dorman products. They have an ignition lock cylinder where it will cut the key, or basically use your old key and cut the cylinder, tumblers to your old key, so you don't have to worry about the skim. That worked for the most part. The first one I bought, it did not work. So they refunded it, warrantied it out, and sent me another one. And I called the technician. I called the Dorman techs, which was really cool. They were very easy to get a hold of. The guy basically told me, when you do those, very quick motion all the way around, and it cut the tumbler. It wasn't 100%. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't 100%, but I was able to then take it to, once I got the cylinder apart, the little tumblers were not, they have to seat almost all the way down completely flat so that they will turn. Mine were not doing that. So I basically took a Dremel and I dremeled the remainder part, the little copper brass pieces down farther so that they set flat, and it worked. So while it was not a 100% solution, it did work. The Dorman kit, saved me a little bit of time, but it's not perfect, but it worked. I can recommend it, but know that you may have to do a little additional work to make it function as it should. So I have the key in there. It is working. I've got a bit of a misfire still that I'm trying to diagnose down. Unfortunately, I am not able to hook currently my HP tuners up to it. It won't read the computer. I have a trouble ticket with HP tuners now to figure it out. Initially, I thought the old Diablo Sport, the DSP tune that it had on it, like a 93 octane or tune or something, had locked me out. So I unmarried it, thinking that maybe that is what my issue was, but I'm still locked out. I cannot connect to it. So OBD2 wise, I don't have just a generic scanner. I always use HP tuners. I don't know why it's not hooking up to it. Like I said, I have a trouble ticket out with them so I can figure it out so that I can do more troubleshooting. Probably going to throw a fresh set of spark plugs in it. I put a different set of spark plugs in it initially, but they were just some that I cleaned up. Still not running great. I did a compression test while it was cold, so those numbers are going to be a little bit different. I'm about 10 or 15 pounds depending on the cylinder. One cylinder is a little bit lower than the rest. Not a big deal. I verified that it is in time. It could be old gas. A good fresh set of spark plugs. The other thing that I did notice is one of the it has one of the kinetic wire tuck harnesses on it, which is a nice harness. I prefer factory just because I know that color-wise and whatnot, I know how all of that routes. The wire tuck harness, like I said, it's nice. The way that the wires are ran are a little bit odd for me, but that being what it is, it's hard for me to really trust. I don't know what my baseline is because the colors are different. Some of them seem to be a little bit different. I haven't completely gone into the manual to verify everything. It just makes it a little bit difficult to know what your baseline is when you cannot hook up and look at the tune. I can't look at the OBD2. I don't know exactly what all is going on. My own fault. I could be better. Normally, I'm pretty good at this. I am a little bit rusty. And it's hard for me to know what my baseline is. I'm sure it's something stupid, probably the old gas. I really don't know how old the gas is in this. And then just a fresh set of spark plugs, which I have on the shelf. I'm also going to throw in another set of fuel injector O-rings, maybe my extra set of stage 1 or 04, 05 fuel injectors. So just a little bit of troubleshooting, kind of throws a little bit of a wrench in the plan, because my goal before I pull the engine and transmission to replace the transmission is to make sure that the engine is functioning as it should be, and then go through that. The other thing I do have is a rebuilt in relatively recent times T850 transmission. So there is something up with the transmission. I don't know exactly what it is. I will look into that once I pull things, but I do have a transmission back here. I do have a clutch ready to go. Honestly, once things get going and I figure out my engine issues, really shouldn't be too bad. Yeah, so that's kind of where it's at for this one. It's in relatively good shape. It really is. I will show more pictures and do a video once I get it off the lift and get things going. But I gotta say, for what I paid for this thing, it's in good shape. Just needs a little bit of help. And again, once I figure out why I've got a little bit of a miss to it, or a good size miss, to be honest, it'll all come together. If it needs freshened up, it needs freshened up. As clean as this thing is, it's got, like I said, the basic Mopar fading paint. The 20-year-old odometer boost gauge did fall apart. I was hoping to at least keep that, but it did fall apart. That is unfortunate. Got to get rid of the fat boy seats, get a wideband in there. I bought a factory airbox system. It's gonna be beautiful. It's in the past, I have always yanked stuff like that and thrown it and replaced. This is a car where I'm kind of going back to factory-ish, and it's different. It is definitely a different thing compared to what I have done in the past. So it's an adventure. We will continue forward. The car will come together. Man, those tires are so skinny, but it's going to go back with 205, 215, something like that, which is what it has on it. Man, they are so skinny. No wonder it was so easy to do burnouts back then with that car. So that's where it's at. It's a beautiful car. Looking forward to it. The other car is finally back together. I have had it together for about a week now. Today, I finally took it for a bit of a test drive around the block, and that dual ball bearing Arashi 16G Stage 3, it spools nice. I cannot wait to really put it through its paces, and that's coming. So that's where it's at here at Syndology at the shop. The Challenger is still sitting. We've got another go-kart frame together that I need to do stuff to as well. Lots of projects. So that's it. Everybody, I hope everybody has a great Christmas. That is coming up the next day, or Monday. Today is Saturday, so just in another day. So that's what's been going on. If you have any questions, comments, whatnot, leave them down below. We'll catch you next time.